So you don't own any guns, correct?
Oh, I own a gun, yeah.
You own a gun.
I have
Okay.
one here. It's not a gun, it's an air rifle actually. But
It's an air rifle.
air rifle.
Do
Yeah.
you like lying? If you do like lying, I have a nice Bible verse for you today. You got James 3, chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. In the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches, but a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire.
Almost 7 times just to get out of California.
Why? What happened?
It dies so fast.
That's weird.
It's so fast. We drove down to Fresno for our first charge.
Yeah.
And then we drove down to another maybe 150 miles. And every single 150 miles, you have to recharge.
That's
It's
so
so
weird. That's not even worth it at that point.
It's not to drive this
Not
far.
for far distance. It's just mainly city, right?
It's
Dang,
city
that's
for sure, like around the house or stuff like that.
that's crazy. I thought like Teslas were good for road trips and stuff. Like there's been reports of like, oh, a couple nukes have dropped from airplanes on accident and they're lost in the ocean right now. It's like, what? What do you mean? You just lost a couple nukes in the
Yeah,
ocean?
yeah, and like when you think about America, I understand America could probably like watch
Locate
all
them.
their nukes, keep control of their nukes, but Russia, almost 6,000 nukes, they can't keep control of that many.
They
It's
probably
so
sell them
corrupt there.
too.
It's so corrupt there.
It might be legal in America and you might see that as like the right thing to accept homosexuality, but if it's looked at as being like bad in the country or something that they're not accepting yet, why disrespect them and cause like an uproar? Like you're going to their country, respect their ideas and everything. Like it's just there's no reason to cause the problems.
Yeah, they go to jail. It's not even that. Like, why are you causing yourself harm? I
Yeah.
don't understand. Like, they might think like, oh, I'm gonna be so like this is so right. I'm gonna bring like LGBT flag, and I'm gonna be such a good person for doing this.
Welcome back to another episode of Voro-Pod. Today the main topic is going to be guns. Bra-pa-pa-pa-pow! What are your opinions on guns? You like them? You hate them?
Oh,
You own them?
uh, I'm actually a liberal.
You're a liberal. You don't like guns, huh?
Yeah, I no, I love guns.
What? You just like flip-flop so many of the stereotypes right there? You like no,
Stereotypes.
hold up, hold
I
up.
don't I
You
don't follow stereotypes.
hold up. You don't like guns. You like giving guns away, right? To corrupted
Oh,
nations.
of course.
Of
Of
course, that's what
course.
you're into. Good old Ukraine,
Uh,
our homeland. So you don't own any guns, correct?
oh, I own a gun, yeah.
You own a gun.
I have
Okay.
one here. It's not a gun, it's an air rifle actually. But
It's an air rifle.
air rifle.
Do
Yeah.
you like lying? If you do like lying, I have a nice Bible verse for you today. You got James 3, chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. In the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches, but a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire. And among all the parts of the body, the tongue is a flame of fire. It is a whole world of wickedness, corrupting your entire body. It can set your whole life on fire, for it is set on fire by hell itself. And then pretty much the next verse says like people can tame all sorts of like animals, but the tongue cannot be tamed. That's what it
Uh,
says. But how do you perceive this verse?
um,
What
I have no idea.
do you mean? You don't understand it?
I kind of didn't listen to it, to be honest.
Brother, how do you always manage to do this?
I suck at listening.
Just okay, just
Just
open
say it
your
again.
ears.
One more
Okay.
time, please, please, please.
In the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches, but a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire. And among all the parts of the body, the tongue is a flame of fire. It is a whole world of wickedness, corrupting your entire body. It can set your whole life on fire, for it is set on fire by hell itself.
All right. Okay, I know. I
Okay.
don't know what's going on. So basically,
Okay, you got it. Okay.
basically, words have power. So with I don't know if we're talking spiritual or not. Even just physical. When you speak something, you know,
It has power.
well, it has power to change people's minds, and it can like
Okay.
affect your standings with people. Let's say you say something that's bad about one of your friends, and like they get mad, or about someone random even, people get mad over it. Or
That is very true. And I think to add on that, this verse is kind of going for, like, to say that even though the tongue is such a small thing and like a small part of our body, it is still like super powerful and can cause like so much wickedness and is super hard to control. Like, you're able to tame many animals and like many like beasts in the wild, but the tongue is like one of the main things you cannot like tame or control. It just like goes on its own tangents.
yeah,
That type of thing. But see, like, even right there, a couple minutes ago, you were lying about not owning a gun. It's like, what's the point of that? You could have controlled it, but it's so hard to tame your tongue, so you just decided to lie.
that's not why. It's not that
I'm kidding. I'm just
It's
messing
like
with you.
I have a itch to say that I don't have guns.
Why?
An
You just
itch.
not? Do you
Itch,
think it's
itch,
like
itch.
a bad perception people put on you if you say
I
you
just
have a
don't.
gun?
I just don't want people to know I have a gun.
And what's the reason for that?
I just don't think that's good.
Like, are you scared that someone's gonna take it away if they know, or
It's just better
like,
for them not to know. Like there's no issue
like that?
for them not
Okay,
to
yeah.
know.
So that's kind of a thing that, like, it's a dangerous thing, and you don't want people to know that you have that. 'Cause
It's like
not good.
look at the risks. So, what are the cons of saying I have a gun, and what are the pros? Absolutely no pros of saying you have a gun. It literally
I mean,
doesn't
maybe
matter.
people like fear you. That could also be a con, though. At the same time.
That could be a con
So
where they
yeah.
could like push back. Like I have
Hmm.
like it's this like there's no reason to say that.
Yeah, because like a lot of people will kind of like look at you differently. Because like there's a good amount of people in America that hate guns and
Yeah.
like despise people that own them. Obviously, there's a good chunk that also like guns, so I guess you can gain that popularity, or like that could be a pro. But then, like, I feel like the cons outweigh the pros in a way. Cause
I mean, there's just no reason to say. I mean,
yeah, well,
like if
too
I
late
don't even
now.
have it on me, it doesn't really matter. Like I didn't
You're
buy
not
it
strapped.
to use it. I don't. I'm not strapped.
You just bought it to have fun.
I just bought it to have fun to go.
Yeah,
Shoot at the range or something like that. Like, yeah.
I see. But back to the Bible verse. Do you ever experience like troubles with taming your tongue, or like controlling your desires in a way?
Yes.
Like, do you ever try to like, oh, I'm gonna not be mean to other people around me, or like not
It's not even
say
about
bad
that.
things?
It's about lying. I think mostly.
Lying.
Like I don't really have a problem with taming my tongue around people because I
Mhm.
know what
Like,
I have to say. Like I'm just not mean like to people or like I don't say stuff that like aggravates
so
people or stuff.
what do
like
you
that.
have troubles with?
It's just like some stuff that other people don't need to know. I just don't tell people, and then I kind of like leave people like blind, I guess, mostly.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have that problem. I don't think like I lie too much. If it is, it's very rare. Mostly for me, it's like I'm kind of a jerk at sometimes, and when I get angry, I just like it just comes out of me, and I'm like, ah, shoot. Well, at this point, like I can't say sorry. That's gonna like make
Yeah.
me look weak or something. So it's just hard for me to do that after I've like kind of lashed out. So that's kind of my problem with that, with my tongue being wicked.
Yeah. But I don't know. In my head, for some reason, what I say, like, I don't really count it as lying. But
Does
it
God
obviously
count as lying?
is. Probably, but it's like stuff that just like
You just rather not have people know.
it's not good to say, and then it's not. It's like there's just no reason. It's like somebody asks you like, oh,
It's
did
gonna put
you?
a like. It's gonna damage your image if you say it. So you lie. Is
Not
that kind of what?
necessarily. Not
No.
necessarily image. It's just like
Give me an example, because I'm like,
interested.
don't have one.
Like okay, let's say somebody else lies,
Mm-hmm.
and then like somebody goes, oh, asks you about it. I just don't say anything, or like I say he's something like that, or something like,
So you just
And
not a
if it's a
snitch.
lie, I just don't like put people on the spot. Like I just
I
don't
see.
like.
Yeah.
Like that's an example, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay,
don't know.
that makes more sense now. But yeah, I guess it's not too bad, honestly. As a thing, who knows? I just, yeah, I definitely have trouble with that, like with controlling my desire, not necessarily desires, but like the tongue, because like I try to act nicer to people, or like maybe don't say bad stuff, but I have the difficulty all the time. Like my tongue just randomly like blurts it out, and then I like by the time I figure it out, I'm like, oh shit, well I already like lost what I was trying to achieve or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of my
Yeah.
problem with it, but yeah. Sure.
Well,
Are you
well, what do you consider? Well, jokes. There's
jokes?
Do you know the way that like the Vanya, the I joke?
Um,
I don't know, stuff like
well,
that. It's like
jokes aren't necessarily a bad thing unless if they mean bad things or hurt other people. If it's like a funny joke that everyone's laughing at and is not like perverted or like a sinful type of thing, then it's probably fine to do it. But obviously those like it's pretty hard to make jokes without it being kind of messed up
exactly
usually.
like it has to be
So
mixed up, otherwise it's not funny.
like definitely the darker jokes are always the top tier jokes, or the ones that are like a
Exactly.
little disgusting or sinful, you can say even.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's up to your own
Yeah.
choice.
So I think that's enough for the Bible verse. Do you have any funny stories? You hurt your toe, right? What happened with that?
Yeah, I don't. My
You sent me a
shoes are
picture on
either wrong
Snapchat,
side.
and I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah,
we'll
it
pull up
got
we'll pull up your toe picture right here.
yeah, it got like a blood, what is it
Blood
called? Like a
blister.
blood blister, yeah.
Uh huh.
And over there, my skin is so thick already from previous, soccer and stuff like that.
So
So
it's just from kicking the soccer ball, or what
I
happened
don't
with
know.
that?
I don't. I mean, I get obviously stepped on, but it's not that bad. Like it doesn't hurt that bad. But so did you see not only on my toe, but on these stuff
Mm-hmm.
on the
Knuckles.
toe, is it completely like scratched off? The top
Hmm.
is completely scratched off. Two of them, like that.
It's probably just friction burns then from like running and your foot's like scraping in there. Who
Yeah, it's
knows?
probably bad socks or something like that. I need to get
Yeah.
different socks made for like soccer that won't do that. It sucks. It hurts so bad afterwards, and it's
Yeah,
like
but
it was a good like when I put the needle in, it was like it popped. It was like
yikes.
yeah, because it was thumping. Like it was thumping with my heartbeat. Yeah, it was like thunk, thunk. It felt so weird. But yeah.
So that's that, huh?
Yeah.
I was I think it was like 2 days ago. I went with my dad to check out our beehives, and we
Uh-huh.
have them like scattered around the city pretty much. And one of our beehives is in like a field, like a farmer's field, and we pulled in there on my Prius, whipping it in the mud, and the bees are obviously hibernating in the winter. So we opened the top just to check if they're all good, but we just noticed like there's no noise at all, like no humming to keep them warm. And my dad kind of like tilts the hive over, and just a bunch of like bee chunk bodies fly out the bottom, and they're like, what the heck? We've never seen something like that. Like they're literally chopped up into pieces. And then next hive we go over, same thing. Third hive, which was the
Oof.
last one, we open it. and we see like something crawling around in there. So we take off the lid completely, and on top that was just perched up was a mouse, just like looking around everywhere. And I was like, "What the heck?" And my dad grabs the lid, baseball hits it, baseball bat hits it, and it flies away. And then, like, that's just crazy that a mouse took out 3 full hives, and they couldn't do anything about it. And like he built a bed in there and a house, everything. Like the mouse like got grass and lint.
How did it get inside?
Right? There was no holes. It didn't chew in. The crack was this big.
Yeah, I'm confused. I know how
I didn't
hives
realize.
Look. How does it get inside?
I guess the mice are crazy like that, and they just are able to like squeeze their body down.
Why did it go through 3 hives? Why not just
because
one?
It's hungry. No, it ate all 3 of them, and then chose the last.
Bees?
Yeah, ate all the bees and then like made a house in the last one. So we like scraped out all the stuff. Like it's
that sucks.
bed
so
material.
bad.
Yeah, my dad was upset about it.
Yeah,
he wasn't mad, but he's like kind of bummed out that he lost 3 hives.
Yeah.
But
That's insane. 3 hives.
first time that's ever happened to us with the mice. Like I never realized they do that.
That's crazy. You have to protect them against so many stuff.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta find like a perfect area and just continually do that like year by year. There's so much stuff. Like what?
It's probably better to keep them in like a warehouse, to be honest.
For the winter, I think so. Yeah. Just safe from everything, and it's like warm enough for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, once we scale up, I'll buy a warehouse. Make it like a business warehouse. Do a bunch of different projects in there.
Yeah, dude. Warehouses are so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything in there. They're massive. You can build them out. It's just nice for everything.
Yeah.
Have you seen warehouse, like houses where like there's half of it's like a house and the other half is like a garage, like a bunch of really nice cars.
My so we were doing masonry for my dad's friend, and he had that in his backyard. He's like a mechanic, and he built a whole entire like garage in his backyard, and half of it's a house and half of it's like a garage for fixing cars up. It's like pretty cool. I would definitely live in something like that if I was doing projects like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so I just came back from California actually, and it was probably the worst drive I've ever had.
Dude. Yeah,
on the way there,
bad for you. You have to drive back in a Tesla. It sucks.
It sucks so bad. It's horrible. But anyways, I'm pretty sure I said how I got to California. I didn't say how I got back, because I was in California. But anyways, I drove a Tesla back. It was horrendous. It took us almost a whole day to just get out of California.
Was it bad weather or
bad. No? It was
recharging?
fine. It was the recharging that was horrible. We charged like 4 times. Hold up. Almost 7 times just to get out of California.
Why? What happened?
It dies so fast.
That's weird.
It's so fast. We drove down to Fresno for our first charge.
Yeah.
And then we drove down to another maybe 150 miles. And every single 150 miles, you have to recharge.
That's so weird. Bad. That's not even worth it at that point.
It's not to drive this
not for far distances. It's mainly city, right?
It's city for sure, like around the house or stuff like that.
That's crazy. I thought like Teslas were good for road trips and stuff, like in that type of manner. No,
they're horrible. So Valera, who lives in Washington, they drove down to California once on their Tesla. They said they're never going again. It was that bad.
That's wild. I didn't know that, because like with the self-driving mode, like that feature, I would expect it to be good with like long distances, since I'm pretty sure that like self-driving thing was mainly for like cruise control type of deals, right?
It actually doesn't take power, the self-driving mode.
No, I'm saying like since it has the self-driving feature, I would expect it to do good on like long drives, but obviously it's not like a good long distance type of vehicle.
Well, I mean, probably maximum it could have went under like decent circumstance, probably 200 miles. but like it's freezing cold outside. It
Yeah.
was dark sometimes, you know,
Was it
in the
windy?
dark. It was windy, yeah. We were getting blown, but
And
it was mostly in the
pause.
direction that we were going.
And was Shit, I forgot what I was saying. You're saying you're getting blown in the direction you're going, right?
Yeah, so it was helping us out, but
Okay.
so light, I guess, takes a good decent chunk because when we drove out at 5 a.m., it was dark. We barely
Uh-huh.
made 150 miles, like, and it said 300 miles. We were like barely made 150 miles down to Fresno.
Were you guys going fast?
No, we were going to speed limit.
Yeah, that's wild.
It was insane. Like the power, I don't know where all the power was going. It it says 300 miles on the thing. When it's fully charged, it was like 310 or something like that. And it takes forever to charge up there. You get it up to like 250. It was like decent speed. And after 250 miles, those are like insanely slow. It takes like maybe 2 miles per minute, and when it goes all the way up to like 300, it's like 2 minutes per mile. It's insanely slow.
Mm. You know what was not slow?
What?
The guy behind me on a run yesterday.
Yeah.
I was walking in my neighborhood, just like doing like the nightly walks or whatever I do, clear my mind. And I had my headphones in, so I couldn't hear the person behind me. And out of nowhere, like someone brushes their shoulder into my shoulder and just like runs by, and he's wearing all black. And I jump back so fast, and he gets freaked out, and we just like both look at each other super scared and say like I'm sorry, like something like that, and then he just keeps on running. But that scared me so bad. I just wasn't expecting it.
You got wait? Did he get scared?
Both of us got scared.
Why did he get scared?
Because I jumped like up in the air,
okay.
and like kind of like went backwards, so he probably thought he was getting attacked. But, dude, whoever knew that Idaho neighborhoods can be dangerous, right?
You almost got run over, huh?
Yeah. Like, I expect myself as a man that can be safe on nightly walks. Guess not. This world is a scary place.
But you're not safe in this area, huh?
Yeah. I used to always flex to my sisters I can go on these night walks, but now I'm too scared. Sure. Any more stories? Because if not, I got one. My last one.
You do? We'll say it.
I made my own pre-workout.
Did you use it?
I used it first time today.
Yeah.
I was so scared taking it. So what I used was a caffeine pill, crushed it up. I used beta-alanine, citrulline malate, betaine, and creatine and salt, and I put them all together. And just like the recommended amounts. I wasn't doing like anything crazy. But I put it together, and it honestly worked really well. I was paranoid to take it before, but it's now like that I've experienced it, I feel safe, and it worked really well, and it's way cheaper. It's like 20 cents per serving, and generic brands are like $1 to $1.50 a serving. So I'm gonna probably keep on doing this for a while. Just like making my own pre-workout.
It's like 20 cents.
That's what I used the recipe from a website, and I was like doing some research, and the website said that it costs on average like 20 cents per a serving, and like I calculated it myself, and it was around the same. But yeah, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. What are you thinking about?
No, I'm just trying to change. Hello?
Change some settings?
Oh, there you go. No, I was just trying to change to these earbuds.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. These headphones feel so weird.
Yeah, I hate wearing the headphones.
Yeah, absolutely sucks.
All right, let's go to the main topic. Weapons.
Yeah, we can move over.
Move over to the weapons conversation. All right. Most powerful weapons known to mankind. What comes to mind when you think of that?
Most powerful? Me.
You're the most powerful weapon?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So what I think about is obviously the Tsar Bomba. Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear weapon that we know of. But
Your ego's a little low.
what do you mean?
You need to get your ego up. How are you not the biggest weapon?
Bro, get out of here. What do you mean not the biggest weapon? The biggest weapon is below my waistband. You know what I'm talking about? Swing that hammer around and take out entire cities. Nah, but for real.
My leg is actually a pretty big weapon, I'm not gonna lie.
Your leg is not
Put a couple
small.
of shots. I put a couple of shots in the goal today.
A couple of shots?
Yeah, a couple of shots in the goal. It actually, it's pretty decent.
Playing against bums?
If I say so myself. Yeah, actually, I'd call them bums. They're my friends, so whatever.
It's whatever. It's not like they listen to this podcast either way.
I can make fun of them all I want.
Yeah. So, do you think that, you know how America and like all the nuclear weapon countries signed a deal saying that they won't make any anymore?
No.
You didn't know that?
No, I'm pretty sure that's not true.
They definitely did.
Wait, no, I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying they're not gonna do that. They're gonna keep making weapons.
But you heard about how they did that, right?
Well, it's some sort of like nuclear deterrent type of thing. They got a bunch of meetings all the time.
So they did that in like 1968. They signed some type of treaty saying that they won't make any more nuclear weapons. And at that time, America had like 5,000, Russia had like 6,000 nukes. But you're saying that they never stopped.
More. They had up to 20,000
each. No. Well, I mean,
no. I'm pretty sure Russia had 20,000 at one point.
I don't think so because they like the amount they said was like 6,000. It's like, I'll look it up.
No. During the Cold War, it was insanely high. Search up the peak amount of nuclear weapons in Russia and U.S.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Was it?
The Federation of America scientists estimates that Russia possesses 5,977 nuclear weapons, and the United States, possesses 5,428. So it says Russia has released very little information about the size of its stockpile. We estimate that since 1949, the Soviet Union has produced some 55,000 nuclear warheads, and that it had about 30,000 warheads in 1991.
Yeah, it's insanely high how many they had.
Yeah, I've never actually saw that. I thought they just had like 6,000. But anyway,
it was sort of different. It was sort of different before because these ones you only need a couple. You just send them to space, they fall down on boom. Those you have to put them on airplanes. You have to put them on boats. Like it wasn't like a regular rocket. Like it wasn't a rocket nowadays, where it's like an intercontinental missile.
Right. So you think that they're still making them?
100%.
What's the point of that? Like,
well,
they already have. Okay. What's the point of having? Like, they already have thousands, creating more nukes, like more powerful ones. Because to date, the most powerful nuclear weapon was the Tsar Bomba, but theoretically, the Tsar, like a nuclear weapon, can be created to be like 100 times more powerful than the Tsar Bomba.
Well, like anything is like doable. Like you could just make it 100 times bigger, and there you go. Or like a more focused type of thing. But the thing is, they make it more. I think that they don't make it like more powerful explosively. They're obviously like little updates where they can make it more explosive. They fix like probably more like code and the quality of the rocket that's sending it, like stuff like that, to make it more like destructive in a sense where it's not gonna get shot down or it's not gonna like miss, or it's gonna do what it's meant to do.
So you don't think that they're making them anymore then?
Oh no, they're definitely making them. They're just probably making them better now. Like
okay,
probably less chance.
What's the point of that though?
But they're like deactivating the rest. They're like deactivating the older ones, the ones that like are old, obviously, and then they're making newer ones because they're
And
just outdated.
You know
Huh?
that.
I do.
Good. Where's your resource or whatever?
It's all over the internet. I don't know
Okay.
if they're making okay. They could be taking the nuclear stuff out of like the old ones, but I don't think so. I think they're just tossing it.
Okay.
They're, like getting rid of it. Well, you never know because America's not gonna go without nukes. Like think of it logically. If Russia has nukes, America's gonna have nukes. If China has nukes, America is gonna have nukes. They're not just not gonna have nukes. They're still gonna build them,
Why have that
or
many though?
maintain them. Assured destruction.
Sure, destruction.
Assured destruction. I mean, China has enough. It has like 320 or 350, something like that. They have
Yeah.
plenty. Like you don't need any more than that. But
Ja nie знаю tato, що це є.
вже recording me. Oh, it's too late.
Papa decided to drop by and give me a topic to talk about, but yeah. Anyways, let's get back on track. Yeah, I think that's all with the nuclear weapons, right?
Well, I mean, okay, let's just answer the question of why we have so many. It's to not be out of the run, basically. It's like it's everything's a competition, right? Russia has 5,000 something. We gotta have close at least. Ours are 100% better, but it's just it is what it is. It's a competition. Who has the most? Who has the biggest?
I just think that's crazy to have that many weapons, like 6,000 even that we have I think we have like 6,000, 5,500. That would have said.
Yeah, you know what? Also, is the reason why are there so many that it risks like them going missing, like if somebody getting
because there's randomly, like there's been reports of like a couple nukes have dropped from airplanes on accident and they're lost in the ocean right now. It's like what? What do you mean? Just lost a couple nukes in the ocean.
Yeah, and like. When you think about America, I understand America could probably watch all their nukes, keep control of their nukes. But Russia, almost 6,000 nukes, they can't keep control of that many.
They probably sell them too.
It's so corrupt there. But the thing is, there's no nuclear explosions going on. Like, let's say when ISIS was going on in Afghanistan or wherever they were, the Taliban weren't throwing nukes. So they didn't get lost.
Yeah, and I'm sure if they possess some nukes, they would definitely use them.
They would show them now. Like, let's say Taliban had the, because they took over, obviously. They like, show their nukes, like, oh, look, we have these. Don't come at us again, stuff like that.
You don't think they would just use them right away?
I don't.
They obviously don't care about like having a good reputation and stuff.
That has nothing to do with reputation. They're gonna get wiped out.
Do you think they care? They literally they do terrorist attacks and wipe themselves out.
I don't think they're willing to risk everybody or like themselves. The people at top aren't willing to risk themselves. It's like they use people, They use people that are like weak.
Since they're not like an established government or have like moral codes and stuff, at least I don't view them as having moral codes. I would expect them to just like right away unleash mayhem on the world and like throw the nukes if they had them. They wouldn't use them. Like I guess maybe they would use it as a threat and like a power thing to control other countries, but.
So you think the Taliban are bad?
What do you mean?
Why are they bad?
The Taliban?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just because they don't want to let women go to school. You think they're bad?
Nah, that's like one of the good things about them. No, obviously that's not a good thing. Women should be granted the opportunity to go to school just like men. But I don't think they're good because they take away everyone's freedom and kind of make them go under their own, like the Taliban's ideas. And I feel
the thing is, the Taliban's ideas, beforehand it was just like a regular country, but like by Muslim like laws. So
Okay, yeah.
it's run by Muslim laws, but
They also go
Taliban
to
was
the
only
extreme. Like some of it's not part of the Muslim laws.
well,
Like
some of that's like
killing people
terrorism,
like
yeah.
that. That's not like part of the Muslims laws. Like going out and like taking over cities and making them like have a terrible life. Like I don't think that's necessarily part of it.
Okay, what
Also,
cities though?
okay, a lot of the stuff that we know as Americans might be also propaganda. Like we don't know exactly what happened
Exactly.
in Taliban, but
I think you're messing up Taliban with ISIS. ISIS is not Taliban is just was like the group of people that wanted their country back apparently. So
they were
ISIS
yeah,
they
they're
were helping ISIS at some
rebels.
point. They like gave ISIS a place to sleep or whatever that may be
They're
bad.
yeah, I know that they're
But
two different organizations.
yeah. So I have no idea. I don't really care, but well, yeah, I don't think they would nuke right away. That's for sure. I think they would definitely
Let's hope not.
just just they would want every single country that doesn't have nukes wants to have nukes
hmm
because of what's going on in Russia and Ukraine right now. Ukraine had nukes in 1991.
Whenever the Soviet
That was
Union fell apart.
yeah, it was the Budapest Memorandum which got rid of the Ukrainian nukes, and
hmm Screw them over.
now yeah, now we're getting clapped. Well, we're not actually. Russia's getting clapped in Ukraine, but
We don't know
we're
that. That
still
also
in the
could be
middle of a war.
propaganda.
No, okay. Apparently, Vanya has people on the front line, so I know everything.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm serious. I'm pretty sure their Ukraine is doing really well right now.
They might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the most powerful weapons.
Most powerful weapons. You're looking at 'em.
Biological warfare.
You're looking at them.
Bro, you gotta stop with that joke. It's corny. You don't even go to the gym anymore. You're not even close to being the most powerful weapon. You're ashamed. You're looking away.
I actually was sick. That's why I wasn't going to the gym. Okay.
That's a good segue. Back to biological warfare. Throwing diseases onto other countries.
I
What a
do
cruel
that every
tactic.
Tuesday. I do that every Tuesday. It's not to other
What do you mean?
countries, just to my friends.
What?
Just give them sickness. So I was sick. I go to soccer. Now they're sick. Let's go.
Dude, I think that's like almost impossible not to get everyone sick because you're not just
Half
gonna
of them
stay
were
at
already
home for
sick
2
too.
weeks.
I
Yeah.
like I know half of them were already sick too. So it's like, it's okay. I'll live.
I feel bad whenever I get people sick
I know it sucks.
because because everyone knows that you're sick, and then when they come back like 2 days later and meet up with you again, they're sick, and then you have that like guilt on your heart. They don't say anything to you, but you just know that they're pissed off. Like personally,
Yeah.
whenever someone gets me sick, I don't ever like call them out or kind of complain about it. I just kind of like in my head, I'm like, shoot, bro, like I should have just not been next to this person, but it's fine now. Like since I'm sick,
I don't really care, to be honest. Like, it's okay.
it's okay, but it also kind of sucks because the quality of your life gets pretty bad.
It's only
while
for
you're
a
sick.
couple days. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta
Live
gotta,
and forgive.
not only that, you gotta like sometimes like life is hard sometimes, You
Right.
gotta understand that you gotta live through some stuff. So yeah,
You
my
have to
nose is
adapt.
completely clogged right now and I can't breathe, but it's whatever.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think
Biological
about?
warfare.
Yeah, why do you think about countries doing biological warfare on each other like that? Because
I think that it's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
good job. It is very horrible.
I think that's like out of bounds.
It's
like,
yeah,
that's
it's
too far.
disgusting because that's causing.
Yeah.
It'll eventually come back to bite you in the butt because it's gonna spread around the world like the coronavirus. Like there's news coming out that it was a lab leaked disease or a virus, and like China obviously didn't mean to release it yet, or they didn't want to release it in general. They're just like doing some studies, but it got out of the lab and spread across the whole entire world.
The
So
thing is, just because
uh
it's in a lab doesn't make it a biological like
it is, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a bioweapon, biological
The
weapon.
thing is,
Because
like
it's engineered and created. It's not
I
naturally
know,
made.
but they don't do it. They don't make it because of like to send it out. They kind of make it. They make a disease and then they also make a way to fix it right away. They make vaccines and like antidotes right away once they have
Hmm.
those diseases to
To
like be able
prevent from
to
their own people.
yeah. Yeah, not
Okay.
only from their own people, from like anybody getting sick from it, because there's venoms, right? Like let's say you get bitten by a snake or something, like stuff happens naturally. Like how did the Black Plague start? It didn't just like it didn't somebody didn't make it. It was
It went
it
from
just
animals
happened.
to humans, yeah, like rats and
Yeah,
fleas or
it,
whatever.
it, it happened. So that's why they're creating everything to find a way to either also get better at it, plus every single disease that there is. Like
Well, that's a positive way to look at it.
yeah, I guess
Definitely, like if they right away create the antidote or vaccine for that disease, that's obviously a good thing. But in this case, they obviously didn't, or they didn't want to release it. If
or they
they
just
did
didn't have
create,
enough time, to
yeah.
create it. It was
Since
like
I guess it was leaked,
yeah,
they didn't, they weren't prepared for that. But
yeah,
definitely not a good thing.
yeah.
Luckily, we got pretty lucky with COVID. I think it wasn't
It's
anything
not
crazy.
that bad. Yeah.
Well, it's millions of people died from it, or that's what like the numbers
On a
say.
scale of 1 to 10, it was around a 1, to be honest. Like compared to the Black Plague, Black
Right,
Plague
yeah.
wiped
Or
out
the
half of
Spanish flu.
people. Yeah, it's not bad whatsoever.
Hmm.
So
The thing is, with like these biolabs, what if countries like North Korea or the ones that kind of like, I think that, yeah, honestly, I can only think of North Korea like a country that doesn't care about pretty much hurting the rest of the world. Like, what if they are able to develop something like that? And do you think that could like, is that something people should worry about?
honestly, it's good that he's focused on nukes. Let him be focused on nukes.
Not science. I guess that is science.
Yo, have him stay away from bioweapons. Let him stay on nukes. We're
Like
good
Kim
with
Jong
nukes.
Un be Rocket Man.
Yeah, let him be Rocket Man. We have ways to shoot him down, but bioweapons, they're insanely difficult to
Uh huh.
fix.
They're definitely one of the most like dangerous or powerful things a country can release.
It just screws everybody over. There's actually ways I think that there's like a specific genetic type of genetic sort of weapon which attacks like a sort of people. So let's say
Hmm.
I want to
Yeah.
let's say I'm North Korea and I want to kill Russians
Hmm.
because they're pretty close. Whatever. They just find the biocode.
Kill their own people.
Kill their
That's
own
literally
people.
their
Okay.
no. That's literally their only allies, Russia. They're just gonna wipe them out.
Okay, just an example.
I'm
But yeah, like there's a way to like find out like a certain a race of people. Us
and even
Ukrainians, let's say.
COVID, wasn't that you could see by the numbers it was kind of targeting obese people or older people. Like that's where most of the fatalities came from. It wasn't affecting younger kids that much.
I don't think it was attacking it. I think
It wasn't,
was just
but I guess
it's
yeah,
just
they just have
healthy
bad immune
people.
systems.
Like they just had bad immune system. It just worked on them, and it didn't work
Yeah.
better on
But
healthy people.
technically,
That's just how
like,
it is.
the normal flu does the same thing though. It kills
Does
the
it to
fat
everybody?
people. No, it's more damaging to fat people and older people.
Yeah, because they're unhealthy. It is what it is. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand why, like, why if you, okay, whatever.
No,
That's just what it does. No, I don't understand like where it's like it's so deadly. It's only deadly to a couple of people. Like there's.
I thought you were
I'm pretty sure
you're going somewhere else with that.
I just wasn't gonna
Yeah,
say it.
you're definitely trying to say something a little messed up, but I was here for it.
You were here for it.
Yeah, I'll laugh at it as long as I'm not getting in trouble.
I mean, no, it's just that, like the unhealthy people were like during COVID, they're like, oh, keep your mask on or whatever. You know, if somebody ever told you that was like obese, put your mask on. Like,
Lose some
dude,
weight,
I'm healthy.
badass.
like you figure your own stuff out. I'm not scared of getting sick.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna die. Like, I'm not scared of it. But you, like, if you're telling me to put a mask on,
Watch
get
your
outta
tone,
here.
boy.
Exactly. What's your tone? Yeah.
Sure. Futuristic weapons.
Futuristic weapons. I actually see that you had a little problem on futuristic weapons. I fixed it for you. I fixed
Speak
it for
then.
you. Yeah, so you said under laser guns, you put a rail gun. Yeah.
I'd probably just randomly put that. But yeah, I was going to discuss
So-
railguns because America created one or like a prototype of it. And what it does is like just grabs a bunch of electrons and pretty much like fires it, like compacts it together and it like fires over miles. Like you're able to do that.
What is
that
it
not
called?
true? Okay. The railgun.
I don't think
right?
it's true. No.
I remember
No,
seeing this somewhere.
no. But it doesn't. It's not electrons. It's a piece of metal. It's a chunk of metal, and it's a magnetic sort of weapon. A
Okay, so
railgun
yeah,
is,
that uses electromagnetic force to launch a high velocity projectile. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a metal
bad.
piece, but it loses speed very fast. So it's not very good.
And it takes a lot of energy to fire
A
at one time.
lot of energy. Like in reality, there's no real use to it. It's almost like it's just like a little better, you know, like the cannons on like the old ships.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little better version of that
Okay.
for
I thought it was
for on Earth. In space, it's a complete other story. There's nothing stopping it, so it just goes full speed through. In space, it's a perfect weapon.
It sounds so
But
cool.
here, yeah, but here it's like, it's basically like a gun. It basically
It's
is
a big
gun.
cannon.
It's like a
Big
propeller.
cannon.
Yeah, it's just a big cannon, a little better cannon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
So
mean,
it's gonna be a good use in space when we're
there
fighting
is
aliens.
there is still some use, like against, I guess, small what's it called, small boats, or if they're trying to attack, you know.
It's absolutely rip it to
carriers or
shreds.
Yeah, it's gonna absolutely rip it to shreds. But there's just,
So
it doesn't go that far.
what'd you change on the laser gun? Because I honestly didn't know anything about laser guns.
No,
What did they do?
yeah. So laser guns. There's already laser guns on multiple ships. I think U.S. ships. They're like trying them out, and they're testing them out on multiple
Uh-huh.
ships, on the new generation ships, I believe, because they're the ones with the power to do it. Because the old ships
So
don't
how
really
does it
have
work?
enough power. It's a laser. It's straight up a real laser, and it's
Just
just
plasma?
insanely. It's just a laser. Just the same thing as the laser that you walk around with.
Oh, okay.
It's that kind of laser.
And it's like super powerful, so it
Yeah.
heats things up or
The
whatever.
thing is like this massive.
Ooh.
Like the bulb that it comes out of is this massive. And like it obviously
wild.
can be like controlled and everything. They're trying to use it for like planes.
Yeah,
and
I literally just like looked it up on YouTube, and that's
Yeah.
what the first picture that pops
so
up.
planes, you know, drones,
That's
boats,
actually pretty
even some
sick.
sort of boats. Yeah, it's gonna be really good for nuclear weapons if you know, somebody's trying to hit a nuclear
Shoot
weapon.
them
The
down.
thing is, it's also not very far distance. Like
Does it overheat?
not that it overheats. It's just there's like the strength. So the strength of the
okay.
laser
It
decreases
dilutes the
very
further it
fast.
goes.
Yeah, the further it goes, it dilutes. So
Okay.
to take out a nuke, it has to be on an airplane. So they tried to do it on an airplane. It just didn't work out. It needs too much
Okay.
power. There's not enough power
Yeah, that's a little
Stuff like
sketchy.
that.
And also, that's pretty dangerous, just swinging around a massive laser like that. Like, what if you accidentally like hit a like a commercial jet or something like that, or
Yeah.
accidentally swipe it across the floor and just like take out a whole neighborhood?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't think they're. I don't think they're like made like that. They're just pointed
um,
up. I don't think they're pointed
okay.
down. I mean, they obviously
It's like
can do, but they're not gonna be used next to like land or anything like that.
the bat beacon
It's
points up in the
closed
air.
when it's not. So like there's like this
I'd
thing
hope
that
so.
closes so that it doesn't accidentally hit anything. But
Yeah.
normally, if it's gonna be actually using it, it's not gonna be like a commercial jet because I don't think it could hit that far actually. So
Yeah. An even more scarier weapon that could be created in the future is like satellite space weapons. So they send up satellites into space, into orbit, and it can like zap anything on Earth, like anywhere they want, pretty much. That's wild.
but that doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
Because that's a lot of that would need so much electricity. Like, how would that work?
Well, it's definitely like a futuristic type of thing. It's not anything in our. I don't even know if it's gonna be like created in our lifetime. It might be, but I remember I was researching and that it, like popped up. So space zapping weapons. Look that up.
I feel like it's more target towards like other what's it called? Like other satellites. It'd be able to like take out other satellites. For let's say there's like a massive attack, or like we're trying to attack China. Let's say it's gonna take out Chinese satellites.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
also, have you seen GI Joe?
No, I only heard the joke
So
about Jada.
GI Joe, they had this Zeus weapon
Mm-hmm.
where in space it's like these massive just tubes. So it's like a size of a telephone pole. So it's like I don't know 15, 20 feet, and there's just massive metal rods, and they just get dropped onto cities and they wipe them out. So it's basically a nuclear weapon, but without like the fallout.
Hmm. That's that's pretty good.
And it's not that difficult to make, to be honest.
So it's
It's
pretty much
just
like
a
an
metal pole.
asteroid.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
it gains massive speed going down, and it just wipes out cities.
So many different ways to kill a mass amount of people.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the
so
thing is,
when I
that's
looked
not
up,
difficult. That's easy to make.
yeah,
Like what you send out
well,
a tube of metal, like that's not difficult.
it could be.
How?
I mean, to target what you're trying to hit.
You're just above it. The satellite just gotta be above it.
No, because you have to. I guess it's not hard to time
It just goes
things.
straight down.
Right, but you gotta like also calculate the like spin of the Earth and everything, so you manage to hit in the center. But I'm sure
I that's
they're
that's
they're
probably
able
not
to
that
calculate
difficult.
that. Yeah.
A couple tries, they'll get it.
No, they'll get it if they want to get it. Like they definitely can
Yeah,
calculate stuff like that.
yeah, that's
Because
not that
even with
difficult.
like dropping a nuke from an airplane, that you gotta calculate that as well. Because
Yeah,
it's
and
just
also,
basic physics.
have you seen the guy that jumped from space and like
Yeah, and
parachuted?
landed in.
Yeah.
Oh, he parachuted down. Wasn't there
Well, he
someone
jumped
that?
from space and then he parachuted.
Oh shit! I remember seeing a video about like a guy jumping from close to space or high up in the air and without a parachute, and he landed into like a net. Have you seen that? I'm gonna try to
That's
pull up a
gotta
video.
be fake. That's gotta be fake.
It's definitely not.
That's
Um,
fake.
uh-uh.
There's no way you survive that. You're going at insane speeds. But the person that jumped, they had to calculate where he was gonna land and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Here, I have the video clip.
it's not that difficult. Is it real?
Yeah.
But was it from space or was it just from high?
Um. Well, what does that look like? It's pretty high.
Nah, that's just an airplane.
Okay, whatever. It's enough
No,
to.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The guy that they dropped, he had a full spacesuit on. Like he was in
Mhm.
space, so he was really high, and that was just insane. But
He fell
imagine
from.
if you missed right there, like you're done. Like, why
Yeah.
would you ever do that?
Uh, enjoys jumping out of planes. Yes, it was 25,000 feet he jumped from.
Okay.
So that's not a small distance for sure.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like to calculate it. You know, it probably wouldn't
Yeah.
be that difficult. How high is space? Space starts at 62 miles.
Yeah. 62 miles it starts at.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So that's what 327,000 feet. So that was nothing.
Above sea level. Okay. Hey, I didn't know that. I thought it was way
Yeah, that
lower than
was
that.
nothing compared to.
Well, 25,000 feet's like where commercial planes fly at. It's like 30,000 feet.
35.
Yeah, well, it's close enough. It's like 2
35. Yeah,
miles
well,
off.
35. Yeah, that's nothing. That's 2 miles,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean, that's still high. I'm not saying it's not high, but it's like it's not space. It's not close
Yeah.
to space, but yeah. Yeah, that's probably doable right now. If really America's like, we need this weapon out now, we need to get it done. It'll get it done in a couple of months for sure.
Maybe.
Couple of
Yeah.
months. It's not that difficult. Like, it's really isn't. There's
It's
just
not practical.
no use for it in reality.
Yeah. And
There's
it's
no
gonna
use
cost
for
like
it.
billions of dollars.
We already got nukes. Like, nukes do more damage. Let's be real. Nukes do more damage because of the fallout. It's a lot
Yeah.
scarier weapon. Oh.
What do you think about
Yeah.
people selling millions of dollars of weapons to small and poor countries, like undeveloped ones?
That's actually my future job.
It's your future job. You want to be the merchant of death?
No.
That's so
You know, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, why not?
maybe.
But more in reality, have you seen what's it called? The movie, the Netflix movie. It was like two guys that sold weapons to America. It's like they found weapons and they sold. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have. I don't usually watch
What was that
anything.
movie? No, it was like a comedy. It was a comedy.
Yeah, I probably haven't watched it.
Okay. Well, anyways, they made a bunch of money by selling like weapons and ammo to America and
To the government or just to
to the
citizens?
government.
Oh, okay.
So they like found weapons and then they sold it for more to the government and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like I would
Someone's
do
done that
that, but
before.
to, huh?
Someone's done that.
Well, 100%. I'm not saying as a business
Because
plan,
you know like the Brittany Griner story, right? How they traded
but
her
yeah.
for the Merchant of Death guy. So that's actually
That
how he
trade
got
was
caught. It was a little
What do you
low.
feel about that trade?
I
Was
think
it even?
that we definitely lost the good deal of it. It was I think pretty much the only reason it happened was because America was pressured to do it due to
Not
the
really. Who
public
really
outcry.
wanted Brittany or
What do you mean? There was like
whatever
so
her name is?
much problems in the internet. People like this, like saying it.
Not really. I didn't hear anything about it.
I don't know. There definitely was like a lot of people are talking about it.
They're just a bunch of like, they don't know how to what's it called, bargain.
You don't think so?
They don't know how to
I
bargain.
didn't
They
think
should ask
America.
for
I mean,
two
Russia
people.
really cared. They did that on
Russia
purpose.
cared.
They try to finesse America. Like they did that on purpose to make America look weak.
Yeah.
That they traded a stoner basketball player for pretty much a terrorist. Not a stoner,
I don't
but
know.
She really couldn't go a couple days without her dab pen. Needed to bring it to Russia.
Yeah, I don't understand how dumb you can be.
She's definitely like gotten away with it before. Because she plays in the summer leagues at Russia, and she got caught this time because of like the current situation with the war and stuff. So they just locked her up and knew she was like a big public figure, and like that they were kind of just using her. Like probably in previous years she's done the same thing and nothing happened. You know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely stupid on her end, knowing that it is illegal in Russia and going there with it. Like, what's the point? Like, why risk it, you know?
Imagine bringing, like, a, what's it called? It's the same, but it's sort of the same thing as, like, when they were bringing, like, gay flags, LGBT flags, and, no, to Qatar.
Oh, to Qatar, yeah.
Yeah, it's
disrespecting their culture, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay. Like it might be okay.
I heard that Qatar said that they were okay with it.
With the flag.
With them with people bringing like LGBT flags and stuff like that. So I don't know how to feel, but it's still like if they say no, you know, and you're still gonna bring it, like what are you doing? This isn't your country. This isn't America.
Yeah, it might be legal in America, and you might see that as like the right thing to accept homosexuality, but if it's looked at as being like bad in the country or something that they're not accepting yet, why disrespect them and cause like an uproar? Like you're going to their country, respect their ideas and everything. Like it's just there's no reason to cause like problems.
Yeah, they go to jail. It's not even that. Like why are you causing yourself harm? I don't understand. Like they might think like, oh, I'm gonna be so like this is so right. I'm gonna bring like LGBT flag, and I'm gonna be such a good person for doing this.
Like spreading the word to other countries and stuff.
That's what they might feel by
that'll cause more problems because if a country really despises that type of behavior, and you just like go in there, like that's not gonna make them like think about it and say, oh, maybe
it is.
Maybe we should accept them, you know? Like, that's just going to cause them to get more pissed off and say, like, why are they bringing their ideas onto us or something like that?
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Gay people even more.
When you get somebody mad, you know, they push back harder. So
yeah.
That's not
a real way to, like, fix problems.
Yeah, that's why in Christianity, it's like turn the other cheek.
Mm-hmm.
It says that because that's just what it is, I guess.
Back to this Brittany Griner trade though. The Merchant of Death, he got in trouble in Illinois because he was selling he was selling $20 million worth of weapons and like missiles. Like he made a deal with someone, but he made a deal with like an FBI agent or like a CIA, like one of them, and he ended up getting caught and arrested for like 13 years or whatever he was in prison for. But
how long was his sentence?
I think it might have been 15 years. Death sentence.
Well, that's not worth it then. Why did Russia trade
25 years. Sorry, 25 years.
Okay. Yeah.
The Lord of War. He was worth $6 billion.
He was worth $6 billion?
Yeah.
Maybe I do want to take that job.
Okay. But like if you think about it that way, he's not necessarily being like the bad person. He might be selling weapons to organizations that are going to cause bad, and like organizations that give guns to children to make them fight. But at the end of the day, he's not forcing them to do it. Like he doesn't care what happens to the weapons. He just sells them to people, makes a deal, and then it's on them, right? It's not on him on what happens with the weapons.
Is the same thing as selling drugs, right? So if I sell crack cocaine to a bunch of people, it's not my problem for selling it to them.
Right, like you're not telling them to take it.
Exactly. I'm just selling it.
You're not the problem.
They can do with it whatever they want. Exactly.
Like, Someone
not
else
go
is
to
gonna
jail?
do it. Why not you?
Why not make you make the
He's out
money,
there
man?
chasing the bag, and people are hating on him. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know.
Exactly.
He's just finessing the system, and everyone's hating on him. No, but for real, that's kind of messed up. It might be like, there's no good things you can come out of that. It's definitely messed up
Okay.
selling illegal weapons to organizations because bad things are gonna come.
How about
out of it
legal
no matter
weapons? How about legal weapons?
what. If he sells illegally, then it's okay. It's got to be tracked. I feel like.
Why? Who says?
Hey, let's get into gun laws then. Might as well do that. So,
It should be really easy to get guns. So you just walk into a Walmart, you walk out with it. Like,
that's how it is in many states in America. In Idaho, that's literally all you got to do. Like,
no, actually not true. You need to go through a federal check.
okay, you might do like, I guess you might have like to have some documents, but like, my brother literally went into the store and he said like, hey, I'm looking for a shotgun. They gave him a couple options. Grabbed the shotgun, bought it, and left. Like, it's very easy to get a gun in Idaho.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same thing in like Missouri and many like red states.
Yeah. It's like
Do you
they're not
think our
considered
current
as bad, I guess.
Do you think our current gun laws are like they work well, or do you think we should be more strict, more loose, or like what are your thoughts on it? Or do you think it's just perfect
I
right
don't
now?
know. The thing is, when you look at like let's say LA, let's bring up LA, Chicago, Kansas,
Chicago.
St. Louis, Kansas City, the massive like gang places, they
Mhm.
will not have legal guns. So any gun laws that you put will not be followed in those areas. And that's where most of the killing and stuff like that happens with guns. The gang fighting, all of that. So in reality, they don't affect people that are using it in a bad way. They only affect people that are using it in a good way.
Mhm. The thing is, if we do have restrictions on guns and America does what Australia did and take away all the weapons, those gang members or people obtaining the weapons illegally will have a difficult time getting them at later, and that can cause like total elimination. You know?
Same thing as like in England,
Yeah, like now they
UK.
just have like stabbings instead of gun shootings.
Knife fights,
Yeah.
sword fights.
Oi,
Yeah,
mate.
I
Oh, actually, that's
don't know.
Australia.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't like when you think about it. In reality, America is America. Like no
They're
matter
known
how
for
many
guns.
schools get shot up, no matter. And okay, schools get shot up. Complete lie, by the way. Complete lie. Whatever.
What do you mean?
It's not as bad as people think.
Brother, there's little kids getting shot. How much better can you possibly get than. Like, what do you mean it's not that
Okay.
bad? It's pretty bad. Like, one kid getting shot might be a low amount, but, like, they're still getting shot.
Okay, I think maybe it's possible like that we could make it harder for kids to get guns.
Who's handing out guns to kids, bro?
Well, no, students are taking guns in. That's what
They're
school
taking it from
shootings.
their parents. That's not necessarily
No,
America's.
they don't take it from the parents. That's the thing. They don't. They don't take it
Where
from
do they
their
get it
parents.
from?
That's exactly what I'm saying. They don't take it from their parents.
What do you mean?
It's
They
always
even.
illegal guns. Every single
Nah.
time.
Like,
Yes.
whenever a kid does it, it's usually not illegal. It's usually, like, their own weapon or their parents' weapons or whatever.
No.
And maybe the legal weapons are when adults go in there and shoot up schools. That might be illegal weapons because they're trying to.
77% of mass shooters obtains guns that they are using crimes through. Wait, what?
They might have illegal modifications to it.
Oh, this is the most cherry picked Oh, that was the New York Times. Sorry, let me
There you
find
go.
something.
Can't
Hold
get
on.
much better than that one. Anyways, like even with the
I can't
mass
find it.
shootings,
So
more and more are
yeah.
happening like consistently. Like year by year, it's getting like more and more dangerous and more shootings are happening. Like
I think it's just
we have
mental
implemented
state.
some gun laws and like more left wing states, but obviously that's not helping anyway. Like it's
It's not
still
even
getting
that
worse.
bad here, to be honest.
Where
Like mass public shootings isn't even that bad here.
in Missouri
No,
or in America?
like United States.
I mean, it happens though, and like it
It
shouldn't
happens
happen at
sometimes,
all.
but it's not bad compared to like the rest of the world. It's
I
like
think
it's
it's the
fine. It's in the
worst in
middle.
America.
No, it's in the middle. I'm looking at a chart.
Oh,
Murders
really?
from mass public shootings per 100,000, and
Okay. Oh,
yellow is
but still,
less
it's like
than 0.006, and then the one is like obviously high. So we have Africa is pretty
top
pretty
notch.
bad, top notch, and actually Sweden. Wait, is this Sweden or Norway? Actually, wait up.
Really?
Yeah, Norway or Sweden. I I'm pretty sure it's Norway. Actually, it's Norway. Norway is really bad as well. So like
That's weird.
compared to America, America is tame. Uh, yeah, Finland is pretty bad as well, and then it's gonna be a little bit down in South America is pretty decently as well, and then
So,
obviously in the Middle East.
do you think to solve these like mass shootings to go like to completely to zero, even though it might not be like very bad in America compared to other countries, it's still happening and it shouldn't happen at all. Do you think to eliminate mass shootings completely it would be with gun laws or with what method? Do you think gun laws would fix that?
No,
No?
it just won't. In reality, it won't, because there's
Yeah,
just
cuz
nobody to control. Let's say South America. Yeah, I guess they have a sort of like government controlled or whatever, but it's pretty big and it's not that good of a like it's
yeah,
not
it's also run
America.
by cartels. That's a pretty
Exactly.
bad example.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you're not gonna be able to
Oh.
control it. That's why
Yeah.
it is a
Okay,
good
so
example.
it's obviously you're able to eliminate guns from people. Like Australia did that. England did that pretty well, but
Parts of people, you're not gonna get it out of Middle East.
okay, like America, they could maybe do that. But the
America,
thing
maybe. Yeah.
is, I feel like controlling like people's ability to have like weapons and anything won't eliminate public deaths or like the mass type of like murders because it's not necessarily guns that are doing that's like mentally ill people at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
that's true.
Like I feel like instead of pouring so much money into controlling gun laws or I guess like preventing people from getting them, people like the government should pour money into like helping mentally ill people or like help with some sort of therapy or something like that or mental health. I feel like that's how you
This
solve it.
at this time, it's so bad mentally for this.
Yeah.
All of the United States is
Like
absolutely
our
screwed.
generation's messed up. Like there's so
They're
many people
all
that have
screwed
problems.
up.
Yeah.
Dude, it's all of this internet. It's everything put together. Like it's the food that we eat. That's garbage. It messes with our gut. The food that we
Yeah.
eat messes with our gut, and then your gut messes with your mood, and it's just all on a loop. And like there's internet. It
So
shows
many
how your
different
family is
like
supposed to be. It's just everything all together.
it's messing with people's heads.
That is the biggest weapon right there.
Sadly, it's true. The internet is one of the biggest weapons. You gotta take the red pill and live a traditional lifestyle. Get away
Choose a
from everything.
pill.
Choose a
Choose
pill.
one.
But yeah, I think that's one of the best options to like fix the violence in our country or violence in the world. Like stating that, do you think the world will ever achieve like true peace? Or do you think there's always going to be some sort of conflicts?
I mean, America could go down to South America, I guess, and then America could go to Africa and put complete control. But it just
So
won't be enough
you
people.
think a one world or one world power would solve that?
Yeah.
But what about like
But
all the rebels
but
or
it just wouldn't work
revolutions and
out.
stuff?
It wouldn't work out. That's what I mean.
It's got to be
That's
like
why
a
it wouldn't work
dictatorship
out.
too, like a
People
very
are
strict
too
one.
selfish
Stubborn
and
too.
they want too much power. They are stubborn.
Yeah.
They will never do that. There's always um
A
like in
Putin.
Africa, what's going on right now? There's no control because when it fell apart, it completely like fell apart. And right now, there's like
Which countries?
warlords.
I
A
don't
lot of
really
them,
keep
most
up
of
with
them
the-
actually,
their
other
news.
than like South Africa, and then
They just have
the
a bunch
two
of
some of them.
revolutions.
It's like in
pretty
the
much.
middle, dude. I'm not sure, but like, there's, I think Central Sudan probably is pretty bad right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sudan, but I this is just what I hear. I'm just putting it into like a story type of way. It's just people are just too selfish. They just want.
So you think there's always gonna be wars amongst like countries? Like there's no way that
Yeah.
we can solve that.
Yeah, there's always gonna be wars. I mean, not necessarily. Okay. Not always, but there is war. There's money in war. There's money in taking stuff from people. There's money in, protecting, I guess. It's just a big thing. I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of situation there would have to be to completely like
I think even the one world
stop.
power wouldn't solve it. It would have to be a threat that like puts all the humans on Earth at risk. So like pretty much
And
every
I
single
still think it wouldn't work.
really. So like even you can say like aliens like let's do like a far-fetched type of theory that like aliens attacking the Earth and all the countries combine together and defend the Earth. Like do you think even that countries would have problems with each other?
100%. They would have a lot of problems. First of all, our weapons and all this stuff, it just wouldn't be able to combine. We wouldn't really be
It's
able
not
to fight
compatible
together.
'cause it's different systems, yeah.
And the United States doesn't care if Russia survives in reality. So they're not going to fight for Russia. They're going to fight for the United States. That's where they're going to put all of their troops. They're going to take it all back. They don't care about anybody else, In reality, that's what we should do. That's what's going to happen. All the troops get sent back to the United States. If they find somebody like a ship coming, they're going to send all their troops, most of their tech, everything back to the United States. They're going to protect it. And they will not care about Russia. They will not care about China. Don't care. You solve your own problems. We will protect the United States.
Why can't we be friends?
The thing is, in reality, that's how it's gonna work. Like, United States doesn't have enough weapons to attack aliens, to protect China.
Yeah.
Like,
They won't even be able to defend
yeah.
against aliens, period. If someone's coming over here, we're dead.
There is like
Violently.
an off chance if it's like space battle that they could work together, like off chance,
No, America
or if the
we have nothing to defend against that. If a civilization has the ability to travel from their homeland to ours, they're obviously well more advanced than us and are able to take us out if they truly want to.
okay, take us out completely, wipe everybody out, like the whole planet.
Okay, maybe
Probably,
not that,
but
but like just
like they would need the planet, right? They would
most
need it,
likely-
so they wouldn't wipe everybody out. They would probably like attack, because it
they would
depends how
dismantle
advanced.
all of our defenses. We'll just say that.
Depends how advanced they are, obviously.
Pretty
If they're
advanced.
a little advanced, no, it just depends. Okay, there's videos of there's a bunch of movies on like sort of aliens, of how advanced they are. Let's say that they're close to our advancement. They're just a little more like space known. So like
Mhm.
if we put all of our money and like everything into space, let's say because the Earth is dying soon, like we need to get out of here. So we put all our money into space. It's gonna be a little more advanced in space, but the tech is not gonna be that crazy advanced. So they'd still have a sort of like gun, and they still have a sort of stuff like that. So we would be able to fight back for a while. We'd probably be able to even like
Either way, that's
stay
a
alive.
far-fetched theory. Like
The
most
far-fetched
likely,
theory.
yeah.
Those
When that happened.
videos are actually crazy fun to watch on infographics show.
Yeah, I
Those
love
are-
those.
those are
Just like the
so
what
fun.
if type of things.
Yeah. So
But I feel like the only way is going to achieve true peace is with the Matrix, or putting everyone into like a simulation type of world.
Yeah, but how does everybody survive, like food wise?
They'll figure
Like,
something out
it's
with the tubes and
yeah,
everything.
it's probably in a couple of like decades maybe. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's gonna be definitely far
Yeah.
away from our life. Weapons. What else you got?
Weapons.
You
We
have
had a
anything
little
else
bit
you
of
wanna discuss?
cyber weapons.
Yeah, you did a
bit
little
of
bit of
cyber
research on
weapons
that.
because, the North Korea, the way that they made nukes is by stealing Bitcoin, actually.
What? What do you
Yeah, they
mean?
Stole Bitcoin. Yeah,
From-
to advance from people, regular people. They hack into people's accounts. They steal it.
And how would that create nukes?
No, it just funds their program.
Oh, it funds the program.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
yeah. So,
Cyber warfare. How do you defend
warfare.
against it?
Me.
Cyber security.
Exactly.
What do you mean me?
I.
Are you?
Oh,
Have you
what
been
the-
serious about school?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah?
yeah.
Come on. Are you serious or are you just messing around?
A little bit
You've
of
been grinding
a little bit
lately?
of both actually.
Dude, come bro.
Last couple of days I've been Dude, I've been gone.
No, okay,
It
last
sucks.
couple,
I
when you
should
came
have
back from
Last couple,
California.
yeah,
have you
I've been grinding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
So, yeah, I'm supposed to stop it later, but for now, I still like to use malware bytes to get rid of my viruses on my computer. Actually, I need to use it again because I don't know, my computer's been glitchy out completely.
You've been going on too many sketchy websites?
Yeah, 1 to 3 movies is very sketchy.
You monster. You take
My
money
actually,
away from
actually, I take that back.
Hollywood?
I don't use that website. I take that back. I don't use that website, and I'm not lying. Actually, I don't use that website, and I'm not allowed to use that website because I am an IT person. Actually, you take an oath before you become an IT person.
Well, you're not.
not
an IT
allowed to
person.
use. Huh? Oh
You're
yeah.
not
Well,
an
I'm not
IT.
yet, but I don't
So you're good to
use
still use it until you pass.
until I pass. But no, I'm pretty sure the course that I passed, like you need to agree
I see.
or whatever. But basically, you're not allowed to use stolen tech. You're not allowed to use stuff like that. You're not allowed to call.
You're not allowed to pirate.
Yeah, no pirating. So yeah. So I do not use that website, and which is a complete truth. I don't use that website.
Yeah, I don't remember if I've ever used 1 to 3 movies. Like I'm sure I've watched movies on that website, but like I personally didn't ever use it.
Yeah, it's probably somebody's house.
Yeah. I don't really watch movies often at all. It kind of bore me.
Really?
Yeah, like the only time I will watch a movie if I go to the movie theater with a friend. Like
Have you
I don't
watched
know, I just-
Avatar? Have you watched the new Avatar?
I wanted to, but my friend already watched it, so we chose to watch a different one. He said it was kind of boring because there's a lot of fillers. He said it's
That
like
sucks.
Naruto with fillers. Like it just keeps on going and going. Like it's not necessary.
That sucks
know?
so bad because the first Avatar was pretty decent. It was good.
He said no. He
I
said
don't
it was
know
similar
why.
to the first one. So the first one had the same
Really?
problems with fillers. Like I'm sure he's just a picky watcher and he likes just like excitement like all the time. But Avatar might have like a storyline behind it, which kind of you need to have the fillers in there to have it make sense.
Apparently they gave 9 hours of footage of the third Avatar
Uh-huh.
already to
9
put
hours?
CGI. 9 hours of footage for CGI to put in there.
They wanted to make it that long?
Well, no, they're gonna obviously cut out pieces, but it's imagine how much like
Time that takes.
it was already
money.
insane. It's probably like 3 hours long, right?
Which one? The second one?
All of both of them, yeah. They're
Yeah,
both
are
3
3
hours
hours.
long, which is insane. Like, it's crazy long. By the time it like Avatar, 4 comes out, it's gonna be like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit there half your day.
Okay. I think that's all we have for today. You want to sign it
Yeah,
off?
that is all we have to say.
Sign it
Thanks for watching. Why are you screaming at me?
Bruh.
Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
off.